your horror movie podcast.
Welcome back, Hack/Stab/. It's your boy Hacky. This guy up here.
Just Justin, what is up?
Oh, there we go. A little bit of delay. Justin's
go.
not all here together.
Oh, my bad.
You're bad. All right, Hack/Stab/. This week we're covering M3GAN with anticipation of M3GAN 2.0 coming out. Justin, I don't know if you've ever seen this movie before, but I actually saw it when it first came out.
All right. Yeah, I purposely did not because I saw the trailer and I just saw like a doll dancing around and it didn't. I'm not gonna lie, it didn't do anything for me. I was just like, I'm probably gonna wait a long time to watch that movie and probably never do it and say I'm gonna. But then Sean picked this movie, so we're gonna talk and we're gonna cover M3GAN.
I was so happy to put you through this because she sings an awful lot in this movie.
Well, yeah, we'll save it for the pod, but yeah, she did sing a few songs.
All right, dude, let's kick this off and jump right into it. Hack//. Fun fact. Justin told me he actually fast forwarded through the beginning of this movie because he didn't realize that this Funky ad was like the movie's version of Furbies. And low key, I don't know how you didn't realize this, Justin, because this commercial is disturbing as fuck. It's like, I had a pet and then it died.
Also, before we talk about that, I had a terrible time to start watching this because first I clicked on the wrong movie. I saw it was free. I clicked on something called M3GAN is Missing. And I hit play and went and got like food and everything, and I came back and it was like not. I had to like stop it. I'm like, what are these two girls talking about? M3GAN is Missing is not the same as this. After a couple of minutes of that, I was confused. I stopped it, and then I found the right M3GAN, rented that, and then like you said, it came with a commercial, and I fast forwarded it. I'm like, oh, was this like an ad? And I fast forwarded through the damn movie.
Dude, I think that's hilarious because that ad is very believable,
right?
Tell me they're not knockoff Furbies from when we were kids, though.
100%. That's why I said I didn't pay attention. I thought it was a real ad. So I'm like, oh, this is some dumb Furby shit.
All right, we meet Katie, and she's on a trip with her parents who are bickering over Katie's screen time and how her dad lied about that car being four-wheel drive. He literally says, it looked like it was four-wheel drive. And the wife is like, you should have put chains on the tires. And they really go back and forth, and he just stops in the middle of the road. And he's like, we'll just wait for a plow truck to come clean the roads. And yeah, that plow truck definitely cleans the roads, including the car they're in. Injuring Katie and fucking killing the parents. Like, are you that special? Why did you stop in the middle of a road on a winding road in the mountains in a snowstorm on your way to a hotel that there's only one way in and one way out? And also, Justin, just real quick to touch on this set of scenes. Yeah. I know it's the very beginning of the movie, but you cannot tell me that this is not a nod to The Shining.
I was just going to say Shining.
Yeah. Dope-ass hotel at the top of a mountain that's getting snowed in, so there's only one way in and one way out.
Oh, yeah.
That's the first thing I thought about when I saw this. But next up, we do meet Gemma, who's trying to fix the bugs in the company's perpetual pets. That's what they call these Furby-ass looking things. And they're way behind schedule because they've been secretly working on their own project, M3GAN. And M3GAN stands for Model 3 Generative Android. They call it M3GAN for short. They start getting chirped at by the boss man, acting like a brat. He comes in and he is freaking the fuck out because their competitor has a knockoff version that's a ton cheaper, $50. And he's like, I begged you, make these things simplistic. And you had to go all in. And what makes it worse is not only did she get destroyed at work, but then she gets a phone call that her sister and her brother-in-law are now dead, and she has to take care of her niece, who's also in pretty rough shape. Talk about a horrible, horrible work day.
It's not good. It is not good.
Gemma goes to the hospital, and we see like all this shit kind of unfold, and it's real sad. But Gemma and Katie are now at Gemma's house. And if this wasn't big enough, like a big enough of an adjustment, wow, I started hardcore on that, huh?
That was a lot.
Yeah, it is. We're switching. Oh my god,
we're switching spots.
We're switching spots today, Justin. You better nail all your P's and Q's, dot your I's and cross your T's.
Oh shit.
Now, they're living next door to a careless dog owner who just lets this dog basically do whatever the flip it wants. And she blames everyone else for anything this dog does. Like the dog goes through the fence and she's like, I got a shot collar. And she's like, well, turn it up and keep the dog off your property. And she goes, well, fix the hole in the fence that my dog created. Like, worst dog owner in the world. Hey, Hackstep / quick PSA. If this sounds like you are a horrible dog owner and you should be ashamed of yourself. Gemma, she doesn't have any toys in this house for Katie to play with because everything Katie reaches for that's toy-like is actually a collectible. And this place is just not very kid-centric.
No.
She can't even get Gemma to read her a fucking bedtime story, dude. Gemma's like, hold on, I gotta download an app. Oh, yeah. It's got to update. So this is going to be like, it is bad.
It's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. Get a fucking book.
The next morning, though, we see Gemma's on the phone with Tess, who actually comes across as a really good friend. Gem's worried about, work and being set behind and like the perpetual pets and all that stuff. And Tess is like, yo, your sister just died. Like David, the boss man, can go eat a dick. Like you need to stay home and grieve and bond with Katie. And Lydia, at this point in time, Lydia is a therapist and she shows up banging on the door and she's like, hey, I need to observe Katie and you in your natural environment. I don't know if you got this vibe, dude, but Lydia gives off like the I already made up my mind that this isn't going to work type vibes because she walks in and she goes, oh, still in your PJs.
Yeah, that was pretty
cool. Like, we haven't even eaten breakfast yet. Like, she's watching cartoons. And she's just not, she's like, where are the toys? This isn't very like, kid friendly. Like this doesn't like, she's very condescending. Mm-hmm. And the only thing I have in my notes for this is like, bro, Saturday morning cartoons, Gemma didn't have kids before all this happened. And they literally just got to her house yesterday. Her sister just died. Can she please have some time to grieve as well? Like it's her sister. Yes, it's Katie's mom, but it's her sister too. And I'm like, you expect this chick to have a full playroom and everything figured out in what, 48 to 72 hours? Like, get bent, lady.
Seriously, that's rough.
Gemma's been out back now for hours working on perpetual pets, basically neglecting Katie, proving this lady Lydia completely right. And eventually Katie comes out back and she wants to show Gemma a drawing. And it's a good little bonding time. And she goes, what's that? And Gemma's like, oh, this is Bruce. And she introduces Katie to Bruce. And we get a very touching moment where Katie kind of finishes it up with, if I had a toy like Bruce, I'd never need another toy again. Mm-hmm. And this must flip like a motivational switch inside of Gemma because she goes ham on developing M3GAN again. And after pulling an all-nighter, Gemma and her team have a fully working prototype of the first M3GAN doll. They set up a demonstration where Katie is introduced to M3GAN for the first time with their jerk of a CEO, David, watching from behind a glass wall. M3GAN draws a picture, but there's nothing on there. And you can see the look on David's face that he is pissed because not only does M3GAN not draw a visible picture, but then she knocks over a glass of water onto it. Water. And this dude, David, is like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, he's ready to fire them. Mm-hmm. And then she lifts up the piece of paper and it's like ink activated. So the water triggers the ink and it is a perfect sketch of Katie. And David's mind is absolutely blown away. And he is all in right now. And I love the fact that he's like hyped up on it. And he's like, we're going to get the investors. We're going to pitch this to the big wigs. I'm going to sell this on the owner of the company. His daughter is around the same age. We're going to make this work. The only thing I need to know from you, Gemma, is this going to cost me more than a Tesla?
Yeah.
I was like, what? And she's like, depends on the model.
Yeah.
Like, all right, don't worry about it. We'll make it work. You just bitched at this chick because the perpetual pet costs more than $50. And you're going to make M3GANs that cost more than a Tesla?
More than a Tesla.
We get a montage description of M3GAN while she's coming home with Katie for the first time and how incredible M3GAN is by incorporating like teaching skills into fun time. She even moderately starts to take over some of the parental duties, helping with reminders like flushing the toilet, listening to the kids' day, and even reading bedtime stories. Just when, Gemma's yelling at Katie. She's like, oh, can you flush the toilet? Like, it's not that hard. And then every time she uses the bathroom there on after M3GAN's outside the door, and she's like, did you flush the toilet?
Did you flush
the
toilet?
Did you wash your hands? Like, it's so, I'm like, the quick 180 we see with like Katie's attitude is becoming very noticeable via M3GAN.
Oh, yeah.
Gemma is on defense now back at the office with her team. Her team is kind of like attacking her. and it feels like it gets a little personal because they aren't okay with like developing M3GAN to replace parents when she's just supposed to be there to help the parents. M3GAN actually chirps in and she asks how Katie's parents died. And when Gemma tells her to turn off, dude, M3GAN starts to read the obituary and then she gets into like facts describing how death is the end of life.
Yeah, that got dark. Woo.
Yeah, this should have been your first gigantic red flag. I mean,
Do I
Justin,
throw it?
yes,
There we go.
Yes,
there we go. Red flags are out.
This whole scene was enough to scare this team, and all they did was shut her off and pretend like it didn't happen. Like you're making a kid's toy, and this scared you as full-grown adults, and all you're gonna do is flip a switch and pretend like this didn't just happen.
Yeah,
you're not going to address it.
Oh, I would have been so done. Hell no.
Oh yeah, nope. Unplug it. See you later. I'm putting your ass in the microwave. Blow you the fuck up. Katie's outside now playing a game on her own while she's like shooting around arrows. She's just being a kid. She's outside. It's a nice day. And M3GAN's watching her from a distance. And she actually spots one of these arrows on the other side of the fence. Now, M3GAN goes outside and she sticks her arm through the hole, like the giant hole in the fence to grab it. It's the same hole, need I remind you, that Gemma has been asking Celia to fix like this whole movie because her dog's a fucking nuisance. And what happens, Justin? The dog attacks M3GAN and takes an absolute ass kicking from this dog. Katie tries to break it up because she's screaming for Gemma, and Gemma's got her headphones on trying to like figure out this parenting stuff. But eventually, dude, Katie does get bit. And it turned like this whole thing escalates way more than it ever should have. Cops are called, but there's nothing Gemma can do because Katie's arm was on the other side of the fence. Mm-hmm. So it's technically trespassing. You can tell Gemma's pissed because she's like, put your dog down or I'll do it for you.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, the game on.
Game on. She is pissed.
Fucking Christ. We get our first glimpse of what I call murderous M3GAN. She's now in full effect. She's using Celia's voice to call Dewey. And I love how you can instantly tell it's not Celia because it's got that robotic undertone. Mm-hmm. And she's like, Dewey boy. Like you can tell it's very animated.
Yep.
But she calls the dog and she takes this dog out without hesitation. Like she's some kind of like robotic assassin ninja. Just bam. And then she goes and she hangs out on her charging pad for the rest of the night like nothing ever happened. The next morning, though, we do see Celia walking around the neighborhood calling for the dog, and she shoots Gemma the most evil look. And Gemma just shuts the curtain. She's like, nope, I'm not dealing with this bitch today.
Nope.
Absolutely not. Gemma does ask Katie, though, if she's up to do another demonstration at her work today. She low-key guilt trips her into it, and I was like pissed at Gemma for this.
Yeah.
Because like you can tell Katie's not having a good day today.
No.
And she's like, hey, if you don't want to, you don't have to. I mean, people kind of flew halfway around the world. Spent a lot of money on this, but if you don't want to, it's fine. And she's like, no, I guess I'll do it. David is now giving his introduction speech to these investors and the owner of FunKey. It's actually quite impressive because this speech actually makes David sound like he's way smarter than he really is. I don't know if you caught that when Gemma was like giving the rundown on M3GAN, like that little montage in the beginning. He's like, I want you to give me a speech and make sure it's got really big words to make me sound smart.
To make me sound smart. Yep.
Like, this is so good.
So good.
The curtains roll back now, and M3GAN comes into the room to sit with Katie and play. Katie is having a very, very hard day today. Oh. And this poor girl literally breaks down emotionally about her parents and how she's worried that she'll forget all about them. And she'll forget all the memories. She'll forget what they look like, even the sounds of their voices. And M3GAN does something really cool. She goes, well, can you share a memory with me? And as M3GAN's like is listening to this memory, dude, she stores it in her memory bank, puts her hand over her heart and tells Katie, like, you'll never forget this. And then she does a playback in Katie's voice. And I was like, damn. Because not only did this blow me away as a feature on this doll, if it was real, but this blows away the investors who are now telling Justin to just take their money. They're like, take all of my money, Justin. Produce M3GAN ASAP.
Everything. I mean, like you said, this went looking like it was going to be a train wreck too. I mean, there was tears like these CEOs like were breaking down. This was amazing. CEO loved it. He's like, all right, we got to get this going. We got to get this going. And they're talking to Gemma, and they're like, we might have to oh my God,
Yeah.
renegotiate your contract. And like,
Dude, David's like, wait, what? Why?
yeah,
And he's like, because she's the most valuable
Right.
asset we have now.
Exactly. He's like, we need to demonstrate this to the public. Like, oh my God, like it is escalating. And we also we see that guy Kurt. We do see him saving Megan's classified files to his personal documents. So we do see that going on. But then we see Gemma now. She's what do you got?
You gotta leave out the David part
Well, what
where
did
he walks up while he's like fucking around. I think this is the area where he's like doing all that shit with Megan's files on his computer. And he's like, "Cut! What are you doing?" And he like looks at him. He's like, "You watching Pornhub on company computers again?"
Oh yeah, again. I love that. Calls him out for that again. And now we see Gemma is trying to talk to Katie, but Katie is like fully distracted of Megan. She does not want to talk to Gemma. She's like ignoring her, and just kept talking to the doll. And then we see the next scene, like the psychiatrist is with Katie, and we see Megan says, like, you made her cry. And you can tell the psychiatrist is like, what the hell is going on? She's talking to Gemma now, and she's basically warning her. She's like, have you heard of like attachment theory? Like she's getting like really, really like too much attached to this doll. Like she needs to like, have like friends and stuff, and like just you can't just this can't all be on a friggin' doll. So we see it's supper time right now, and she's talking to Katie. She's like, "Hey, we gotta have it. Like, I found a school for you. It's like an outdoor, like weird kind of school. We need to work on your social skills." Of course, she wants to bring Megan. She only cares about freaking Megan. And Gemma's like, "No, you're not doing that." And to the point where they actually like argue and like pull at each other. And as this like happens, the lights like flicker, and like we hear Megan like, "Let her go."
Dude, that was like a demonic
Dude,
robotic sound.
this is
too.
a demonic scene because, like I said, the freaking lights are flickering. She like screams so deep voice. This wasn't like, "Oh, hey, let her go." Like this was crazy, and Gemma shuts her down like right away. Like, don't interfere with like a private conversation. So there's like hints now that this shit's not gonna go good. So now we're at this school the next day, and when I say school, this was like an outdoor like nature school thing, like learning thing.
Yeah,
for kids.
my kid did one of those for about a year and a half. He really
Yeah.
enjoyed it too.
Yeah, it looks really cool, like really hands-on, interactive with all the stuff. And we see like she doesn't want to, she wants to bring Megan. She like kind of talks her into it. She's like, all right, whatever. You'll put it with like the toys and like all the like the kids stuff. So she puts her over there, and it's nature hunt time. So we see like the parents are kicking back, and all the kids are going to have a nature hunt. But we see this kid is actually starting to be really mean to Katie. He actually smashes a chestnut into her friggin' hand. And all of a sudden we see Megan in the woods. And with the boy, Brendan actually like grabs her and is like, what the heck is this? And like runs off with her, like throws her down and slaps her.
He
Probably
almost looks like he's gonna try and molest the doll.
it was he like
It's
was
a
like
little
on top.
disturbing.
It was disturbing because he gets like on top of her. Same thing. I'm like, what is happening? Like, it was like very odd, but just ends up slapping her. Which that was not a good move because after he like runs, we get a chase scene, but Megan is like chasing him on all fours, like a friggin'
Like a fucking animal.
This isn't, and this actually looks really cool in the forest, seeing her run around the trees and stuff.
Bro, who needs cocaine bear when you've got a Megan?
We really got a Megan there. I mean, she grabs this kid. She ends up like pulling his friggin' ear off to the point where he gets like chucked. It falls down a cliff and into the street, and then he gets friggin' ran over. Like, holy shit, that
Bro,
escalated fast.
the elasticity this kid has in his ears is unreal.
Dude, they pull and pull. I know. I'm like, what am I looking at right now?
Like if you're hanging onto like a cliffside and for your life and someone doesn't have a rope, this kid is literally like, grab my earlobe.
Grab my ear, I got you. Like that was very stretchy. And the next day, though, we got the cop showing up at Gemma's house again. He's like, "Hey, you seen like the neighbor's dog?" And you hear in the background like, it's the neighbor. She's like, "Ask the 3 a.m. window girl." Kind of very creepy. Like this girl staring.
Why are you staring in my windows at 3 a.m.?
Yeah, 3 a.m. Like super, super creepy. And basically, and she's like, "Look, I don't know who you're talking about. Like, I didn't do it. I didn't do it." And then we see Gemma talking to Katie, and she's like, "Look, like Brandon took Megan off the table. Like, that's the story." Because Gemma's like, "You got to tell me the truth. Like, what the hell happened here and everything." And then even at nighttime, you see like Katie's like a little curious and stuff, and she even like asked Megan and stuff. She's like, "Hey, did you like push Brendan?" And Megan's like, "I won't let anything like anyone hurt you." And she basically asked like, "Oh, well, Brendan's in like, is Brendan in a better place now and stuff?" And dude, Megan straight up is like, "Not, he's not in heaven.
No,
Like,
if there was a heaven, it's not for
yeah,
boys like
it's
Brandon.
not for boys like him." So like, holy shit, like that was kind of cold. And it's still nighttime, and we hear like, Dewey, and we see the neighbor. She's out there. She's still calling. She's not giving up. She hears him like in the garage. Like she thinks it's the dog. And as she goes in there, it's Megan. And holy shit, she pressure washes her, like blasts her across with a pressure washer. But she's not done. She gets a nail gun and friggin' nails her hand to like a friggin' mower. But guess what? That's still not enough because she pumps her full of friggin' pesticides. Like,
Dude,
holy
she
shit.
melts her face off.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, and that as that happens, like her face, like you see it melting. Like, holy shit. So at this point, once again, cops are like grilling Gemma and everything. She's like, hey, like this is just kind of weird because you know that accident in the woods the other day? Like, we actually found the kid's ear, so that's actually ruled like a homicide right now. And you know, now all of a sudden, like the neighbor dog's missing, and all of a sudden now your neighbor's like murdered. Like, it's kind of weird. And she looks back and she sees like Megan's like watching. Like, very creepy. So we see Gemma now. She goes to check on Megan, see if she's sleeping because she's got to check something. And we see, like, she checks the laptop for the backup files and everything. And guess what? The GPS and the video cannot be found for the whole time, like when she was in the woods with Brendan. It is freaking gone. She asked like the Elsie. Elsie is the home computer system that she's got, like the AI system and stuff. And she asked like if she's okay, but boom, guess who's there? Megan's there. And she basically asks, she first of all, she tries to turn her off, and Megan doesn't even turn off. So that's kind of messed up right now anyway. And she's like, she asks her, like, did you hurt someone? And she's like, I hope not, because then we'd both be in trouble now, wouldn't we? Like, holy shit, like so creepy.
Very
And
vindictive and vague with her answers
so
too.
vindictive. And basically, like Gemma's got like this pen, and she's basically like, look at the pen, and she gets her to look at her, and that's how she gets her to shut off. So she shuts her off. And dude, she wastes no time. She friggin' tapes her up. She has her thrown in the friggin' trunk, and she is driving now with Katie, and Katie is freaking out. She
Dude,
is screaming.
losing her
Yeah,
mind.
like someone took away something like you love the most. She is losing her mind. But she's like, hey, we gotta like run tests. Like we have to go to the public. Like we need to check to see if she's okay. Now we're back at Katie's at Gemma's work. And basically the team is right there too. They're freaking out too. And we see like Katie's with the therapist the whole entire time this is going on. And we got 4 hours now to the world launch. So shit is like starting to heat up. And we also see Katie is doing terrible. Katie is like absolutely freaking losing it. But we also see like a news video, and it is like the hype. We got a big live stream at 8 p.m. This is gonna be
they're gonna charge $10,000 per unit.
I literally wrote that. I'm like, did I hear this right? I had to rewind it. $10,000. And we have like a video playing with an interview with Katie and everything, talking about how great it is. So like it's like a CEO hype video. So shit is like it is like going down. Like, let's go.
Bro, this dickhead. Did
Yeah.
you catch in the video when he was like, imagine if it helped her, how many other hundreds of thousands of children
Dude,
it could help, especially the ones that got dead parents too.
dead parents too.
What?
I was like, excuse me? Like, that's not good to put in there at all. And to the point now, we see like Katie's still freaking out and whatever. She's talking to Gemma and stuff because Gemma's like, you're addicted to tackling. This is like not going good. And she straight up gets slapped. Like this gets, she slaps Gemma. This is not really going good at all. And we see Megan, and Gemma does apologize. But remember, this is going to be his, like, moving on to another scene. We see David's like, I got to fill this place. This is going to be historic tonight. Like, where the hell's Gemma? Because, like, Gemma's not even down there now. He's like, we're launching to the world. Like, what is going on? And we see now Gemma calls Tess because we see Gemma's like getting ready to leave. She's like, I am getting out of here. Like, let's go. She calls Tess to stop the launch. And she's like, whatever you do, don't let her out of the lab. And she's like, yeah. But the crazy thing is, when you see Tess, Megan intercepts the freaking call.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, it is
insane.
wild.
She was talking to Megan like crazy. And then like the two team members there, they even said like, what the hell? What was that? And they look and they're like, call intercept. They're like, what is even happening? And then they like try to go into the files and they're locked out of the files. And this is all happening when she's off. She's friggin' off, like throw all the damn red flags because this she's not even on, and she just did all this. So basically, Cole now he's like disconnecting wires. He's like right up in there and stuff. He's like disconnecting wires and everything. Where out of the blue, she comes alive, grabs the friggin' wire, like the plugs and everything, and hangs them on it and jumps down, and she is free. We see here, this dude is dying, but Tess being awesome, she runs over, she saves him. So you think, oh, thank God they're not going to die in anything.
M3GAN sets it up perfectly too. Instead of waiting for him to die and then having to fight through Tess, she props that like the wires that are wrapped around his neck. She uses one of the cuffs to like clip to the wall.
Yeah.
And then she like steps to the side and looks at Tess kind of like are you going to save him or are you going to come after me? And then she takes off running. Good.
And she runs, and unfortunately, there's a gigantic flammable tank right there. And M3GAN punctures the damn flammable tank, and explosion. Holy shit! Yeah, they're gone, and also M3GAN is gone now. And as this is also happening, hit the music. We got badass music playing. We see David completely freaking out. He's calling Gemma like, "Where's the doll? Where's the doll?" But boom, right there in the hallway. Who's there? It's M3GAN, and she's doing a little dancey dance. She is
cue the most iconic dance scene of what 2023.
Seriously, she is doing like I'm sure any single person who's even listening has seen that dance. Even if you haven't seen the movie, everyone knows what I'm talking about. She is doing the dance, and she starts walking. She reaches and grabs like one of those old school like paper slicers, and she rips it off as she's walking, and it looks like a machete. She uses it a damn machete. She chases him into the friggin' elevator. Why? And she friggin' stabs him. But on the friggin' elevator, Kurt's also in the elevator. And he's like, what the hell's going on? And she basically says, well, you did it, Kurt. Because you remember, you stole the company's secrets. You downloaded all those files and everything. And then you killed him. And like she like puts like his hand on the machete. And she's like, and then you killed yourself. I'm like, holy shit. And then she makes him kill himself. So, and then like the elevator lands. I mean, I'm talking, there's blood everywhere, 2 dead body stuff. And we see like the launch rehearsal is going on at the bottom. The elevator opens and everyone looks and you just see all the blood in the world. And what does M3GAN do? Dude, she just walks out of the building to a car. She just steals the damn car. Apparently she can drive, flies home. She drives away and then we're at home. We see that they arrive home and she's talking to Elsie. She's like, Elsie, hall light, like respond. And it is completely dark and it didn't work because who else is already there? M3GAN. And she is on the piano. I don't know if she sang or not at this point because I blacked out the singing song. So I'm not sure if there was a song or not, but there might've been, but she basically is like, I thought we were friends. And she basically is like, I'm going to help Katie. She's like, and Gemma's not having this. She's like, now sit, see this pen. And M3GAN's like, grabs her by the friggin' neck, like, holy shit, I ain't seeing this pen. And they start fighting. We're talking WWE battle. And Katie's like in the room and she's like, what's happening? And you see both of them like start like M3GAN's like, we're not fighting. Like they're like, we're good. And then they instantly start fighting again. And it actually looks badass because they're smashing the shit out of each other. And M3GAN's like glitching. And it looks sick too. Because like the lights are going on and stuff. And they battle into the next room. And where Gemma actually gets friggin' hedge trimmers. She hedge trims her friggin' face. And this looks crazy too. Because like the sparks are flying and half of it, the face is coming off.
Dude, it rips off like at least half of her hair.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, and it gets into her hair. So now like the hair chunk is out, but M3GAN friggin' like headbutts her. And I just literally wrote, you gotta watch the scene because M3GAN looks insane. Like this looks like Terminator shit, like crazy Terminator shit. And then Katie walks in when, like I said, they are battling. And at this point, Jem is kind of out. And M3GAN turns to her and she's basically like, oh, hey, you forgot, like Katie's saying, there's another member of the family. His name is Bruce. And she's wearing the control.
I love how they have to do the knuckles thing.
Yeah,
it's so she intense.
And so she controls this giant, and Bruce is big. He's a giant friggin' robot, and she's controlling him. And Bruce basically grabs M3GAN, and pretty sure she like tries to sing again or something. And
she's singing, and I think she goes, "You have to accentuate the positive and eliminate the negative.
Eliminate
And
the
as she
negative.
says, eliminate the negative, bro. What does she do?
She just never mind. Like she gets snapped, and he is smashing the shit out of her to the point where he rips her in half. But she's still not dead, dude. She's like crawling and shit. And unfortunately, at this point in the fight, like Bruce falls and he actually loses his damn head. That's no good. Gemma is like, "You ungrateful bitch," and she has Bruce's head and bashes her with friggin' Bruce's head. But now she's like faceless and everything's going, but she's still going. She's like strangling Gemma right now. Like this thing, well, you could not stop M3GAN apparently.
It won't die.
It will not die. And
the T2000 has nothing on her.
Exactly. Dude, she looks crazy. She's still going. Luckily, she's got like, I don't know, like a memory box or something on it. And Katie stabs her right in there. Let's friggin' go. Cops show up. It is over after the epic battle scene. Let's friggin' go. What do you got?
Jesus Christ. All right. So I've got a very small synopsis of like my final thoughts because,
Okay.
I mean, we pretty much cover a lot throughout the movie when we were talking. So I got, is this movie slow? Yes. Does this movie have a lot of plot holes? Yeah. Is a 4-foot titanium Terminator necessary for a child? No. This movie's characters do take a little bit of a while to develop and attach to. And surprisingly, M3GAN actually helps with this, with us as a viewer getting attached to these main characters. There is a lot that is very well done in this film, and there is a lot that is very wrong with this film, and there's no denying that. I don't want to get too like in depth into my explanation of this movie because it is just a fun watch. And I think it might be my undying devotion to the Child's Play franchise, but I'm giving this a 7.2, and I am dumb excited for M3GAN 2.0.
Oh my God. Wow.
Like there's a lot wrong with this movie. Like I get it. And I think it comes with my infatuation with Child's Play. And I think how it relates to M3GAN being an animatronic Chucky pretty much.
Yeah, that's how like my thoughts are too. Like I literally wrote, it's fine. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It's kind of tame. Maybe it could be a good like introductory horror. There's only like a few gory scenes. I'm like, it's entertaining enough.
Well, it is PG-13.
Yeah, I'm like, it's entertaining enough, but I said it's also very like recycled, generic plot. Like I couldn't get connected to any of the characters. I'm not gonna lie. Like I didn't care.
It took me a while to like actually give a fuck about anyone in this movie.
Even like Gemma, I wanted to like, but I didn't. I just couldn't care. I just didn't really like any of the people. And I'm not excited for M3GAN 2.0. I don't know if I just don't like this whole AI go crazy. But like I said, it's like you can't judge it too hard. It's a freaking I love the Chucky series. And I get it. It's definitely a fun watch and everything. So I mean, I give it a 6 out of 10, and I feel like that's kind of fair.
See, I think I'm excited for M3GAN 2.0. Like I said, I absolutely adore the Child's Play franchise. Justin, I'm going to ask you what your favorite Child's Play is.
Out of all the series.
Let's go with the first 3.
All right, the first 3 is
because we all know Bride of Chucky is fucking top tier.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not gonna lie, I kind of do love Bride and Chucky and see the Chucky when it goes good, and obviously I do love the original, but I also kind of like what's the one where they go to the is part 3 where they go to the oh my God.
Part 3 is the military academy.
The military, dude. I kind of like that one.
All right, because that's one of the most hated, but I love it.
I like it too. I just watched that in October. I do kind of like that one.
All right, but my favorite Chucky, and I think it's the most steady storyline with it just being Chucky and like no super crazy like outside forces and like all that shit, like the Bride of Chucky where it gets real campy and funny.
Oh yeah.
Without that stuff, and it's trying to stay strictly doll related horror. Chucky 2 is phenomenal.
It is good.
That movie starts right off the rip. But Child's Play, the OG, is slow as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
And it is very boring, and it takes forever to give you 10 minutes of satisfaction at the end. And when I see M3GAN, I feel like in order for M3GAN 2 to become like what it could potentially be and have the ability to run and start a franchise just like Child's Play 2, I feel like M3GAN, the first one, is going to be very slow, and it's going to take a lot to set up, and it's going to take a lot for the audience to understand this M3GAN universe. And I think that's why this movie is very slow, but I did enjoy it. And I'm hoping that M3GAN 2.0 delivers like Child's Play 2. You know what I mean? Just gives us a lot more ramped up.
Yep. Definitely. I like those first three. And like you said, it needs to start off strong in the second one. And yeah, you got any fun facts?
I've got a few. In the trailer, M3GAN tells Brandon, you should probably run. But when we watch the feature film itself, she says, this is the part where you run. Mm-hmm. I like when you watch a trailer and they give you things to get hyped up on a movie, and then they don't include them in the movie.
So weird.
You know what I mean? Well, it's weird, but I'm like, all right.
So weird.
I kind of wish when we get a trailer, instead of giving me all the good parts of the movie I'm about to watch, give me like the deleted scenes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you can still get like the feel of a movie that way. You know what I mean?
Lydia was originally killed by M3GAN during her rampage at Funky Toys, as she had upset Katie by making her cry during their therapy session. When the film is recut to PG-13, her death was removed from the final cut, and it wasn't even put back in for the unrated or the R-rated version. So I'm curious to see if like you can find that in a deleted scenes.
Right. Yep.
Well, Gemma is going over the pitch presentation for M3GAN. She states that it uses an A17 Bionic processor. This is a specific chip designed by Apple.
No shit.
And then I've got a couple of little like goof fun facts.
All right.
Right after Katie is bitten by the neighbor's dog, Dewey, M3GAN glares at Cecilia over the fence. Fun fact, M3GAN is not tall enough to look over the fence.
I was going to say, go gadget legs.
Yeah. At the 1 hour mark, M3GAN shoots Cecilia with a nail gun, but nail guns have a safety device that prevents them from being fired without being pressed against something solid.
Yep.
And you got anything?
I got the tagline is friendship has evolved. Fair enough tagline. That play is pretty perfect. I got Gemma. It took me a while. I was like, why do I know who this person is? Like, she played Rose in Get Out. I just want to mention that because it took me forever. I was like, I don't know why I couldn't remember where I saw her, but I knew it was a horror movie. That's what was driving me crazy. I'm like, I know I've seen her in a horror movie. We got a budget of $12 million. This absolutely smashed at the box office. It made $181 million. So holy shit, they absolutely crushed it. We got M3GAN 2.0 comes out this year. And then apparently this is some kind of weird spin-off movie thing called Soulmate. And it's spelt like there's an 8 where the A is
yeah, it's got the 8.
Yeah, in like 2026. I don't know 100% what that is going to be about, but that's all I got.
Oh, yeah. Did you just hit yourself with that?
I did by accident. I was trying to...
All right, hack, stab, slash. I'm Hacky. This dude right here.
Just Justin.
We out.
Peace.